the in-person workshop to June 7, which was when the venue is free. And I'm sorry, please, if it appears I'm breaking, I'm trying to live stream so that more people can join.
All right, no problem, ma'am.
Yes, so that's what we did. That's why, and we announced that on social media, and we announced that on WhatsApp. I'm sorry if you missed it.
Okay, it's fine, ma'am. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, so any question?
Okay, hello everyone.
Yes, please just unmute yourself and speak. Yes.
Okay, so good evening everyone. My name is Gloria and I'm joining in from Kano State. So I would like to ask for the grand finale for the final day, which is June, on the month of June. Is it mandatory that everyone will have to be there physically? I'm asking because of those joining in outside the Ibadan or your state. Thank you very much.
Okay. No, please. Like we said, our funding did not cover or does not cover people traveling in from outside Ibadan to the in-person workshop. So that is why we didn't even make it compulsory in the first place, because we know that not everyone who registered for this program is in Ibadan. There are even people from other countries, Tanzania, Kenya, and Ghana. Some even joined the call earlier. So if you are not in Ibadan, it's fine. We will try our best as much as we can to live stream the event, just like we are doing on YouTube today. If we can, as much as we can, to live stream the event, we'll try. But if you are not in Ibadan, please just join us in spirit and watch out for videos and pictures on our social media. But if you're in Ibadan, we highly encourage you to be around if you're in Ibadan. So I hope that answers it. Please, Francis, Richard, can you confirm if people can see if the YouTube channel is probably working right now, and if they can see, so that I can move on to the next.
Yeah, it's working, so you can move on.
Oh, okay. So it's working, right? Because I've paused it on my end, but are they seeing any movement? Because it was echoing into the Zoom presentation. So please, can you also help me check on your phone if it's
Yeah,
working
sure.
perfectly?
It's working. You can just pause and continue.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, my co-host. Thank you so much for your work. Okay, so I'll move straight into the session. I've done the housekeeping. I've explained what needs about the program and everything you need to know. And I did that so that everyone would really know what is expected for them. Please, a minute, please. Okay, so let's move to next, the concept of work. What's the concept of work about? Now, see these two pictures. Please. Can you all hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can.
Okay, so the concept of work, this is according to the topic, so that it's in three parts. So I decided to take it module by module so that everything is not modeled up and then you understand. Now, the concept of work, look at these two pictures. Just think about, because of our time, I might not be asking too many people to share their reflections with me. I'm sorry about that, because I'm trying to also check time. But look at these pictures. What comes to your mind when you see this picture of this woman and man driving machines, and then you see these beautiful people pressing their laptops, looking at the screens and all. So you just hold that image in your mind. Now, what is work? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, it defines work as an activity that requires physical or mental effort, something you usually do for money. I don't have to explain this further, but you know that when you say someone is working, that means they are exerting energy. They are exerting energy. They are doing something, whether it's physical activity, maybe those who go to the market to trade, or whether it's a mental activity, maybe they're a consultant, maybe they are a creative, maybe graphics designer or a software engineer. So they are exerting energy one way or the other, and they are getting paid for the value they are creating. So when you say work, you're talking about effort, you're talking about purpose, you're talking about value creation. Purpose because it's not just random. You are doing it for a reason. You are doing it for a goal. If you are designing a flyer, there's a reason why you are designing the flyer, maybe for a business person, maybe for your own self. So there's effort. You put effort into it. It just does fall on your lap. And then value creation, you create value that people can pay for. Oh, I love this product. Oh, I love how you write. Can you write for me? And you get paid. Or maybe I love how you make shoes. I love these shoes you make. Can you make for me? And you get paid. So work can be formal, it can be informal. Now the mistake we make sometimes is that who are those writing on the screen? Please, if you are not the one presenting, please unmute yourself also, and please don't write on the screen. Don't draw on the screen so that other people can see it. So work can be formal or informal. Work is beyond just being a paid job. It can be any activity really directed towards a purpose or a goal. For instance, this Skilled for Now, it's a team that put all of this together. It's not only my work, and some of them are even on this call who are members of the team, especially the co-host, and helping me manage everything. So they are not being paid, but at least right now they are not being paid, but we are all working, and it is directed towards the purpose of delivering a great experience for every attendee or every participant of Skilled for Now 2.0. So work is just much more beyond a paid job. It can be formal or informal. It can be paid or unpaid. It can be caregiving. I mean, you see people, maybe especially for women who stay home and who take care of their kids, they take care of their homes. Yes, they're not going to the offices to work, but they are also working because caregiving is work in itself. So don't even look down on them if you used to do that, because they're also working. Work can be paid or unpaid. It can be formal, informal. It can be you are learning something. It can be a creative pursuit. It can be volunteering. So work is just beyond being a paid job. Now, I intentionally put this slide because I want us to see the relationship between education and work. I know we all go to school. Most of us here are like university graduates, and you were sent to school so that you can have a better life, get a better job, have a better career, which leads to a better life. So I want you to see the relationship between education and work. And I went into this because while studying, I saw that one of the functions of education was to actually prepare people for the workplace. So education emerged, it was a gradual process. And please co-host whoever. Okay. So it was a gradual process. I was with my several factors. One was the transmission of knowledge and culture. In those societies, they had knowledge, they had skills, they had norms, but they have to be passed down from one generation to the other to ensure the sustenance of this knowledge, of this culture. And so the need to pass down that knowledge and culture was one of the several key factors that led to the emergence of a formal education system. Now, if I say formal education system, this type of education that you leave your house and you go to you go to a venue, you go somewhere to be tutored, to be schooled by people other than your family members. So the transition of knowledge and culture was one of the things that led to the emergence of a formal education system. Another thing was the specialization of labor. And as you see later, as we were advancing from agrarian society to industrial society and all the stages of industrialization, you see that especially with the rise of machines and crafts, people have to be skilled to operate maybe a machine or a tool, or to be able to know how to do something. And how can you ensure that that happens? Then the need for a formal place of learning, a formal, like a school where people can go, they can learn. If yeah. So that is why you see, that's one of the reasons why formal education emerged. Now, with the industrial revolution, there came a need for a skilled workforce. And as you see later in the history of work, you see that we move from agriculture. I know many of you know this, but just to refresh your memory, from agriculture to an industrial-based society. And when we move from that, there was a massive demand for a literate workforce. The people who would manage those machines, who would manage those technologies, they had to be literate. They had to be skilled. And so, and people cannot just learn that type of knowledge within their families, within their family unit. So it was also another key reason that brought about the formal emergence of education. And that is why till today we have schools that people go to schools aside, when you even aside the training you receive from your family, which is more of the informal training, you go to school to receive the formal education. So it's one of the reasons to make you skilled, to make you skilled in a specialized labor such that you can deliver that skill, you can deliver that value and also get paid for it. But we also see how even with the rise of AI and automation, how it is also disrupting all of this. The main functions of education system included to train specialized individuals. I mentioned it, to train you for a specific role, also to maintain social order, to provide religious instruction, yes, to preserve cultural heritage, to develop literacy and numeracy. But our focus is on training specialized individuals. This is why I mentioned that one of the major functions of education as a social structure is to prepare people for the workplace, is to prepare people for the labor, for labor, is to prepare people for the workforce. And as you can see today, especially in this part of the world, our education systems are not even really doing really doing that as much. Please, am I still audible?
We can hear you,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So as you can see that our education system is not even really doing as much as preparing young people for the workplace. But like I said, your fate is in your hands, your destiny is in your hands, not in the hands of your university or the government or anyone for that matter. It's in your hands. Now, the historical evaluation of work. First, we have the pre-agricultural era, and if you know this, or if you remember what we were taught, you know that there was a time when what human beings did was we were hunting and gathering and fishing. That was what human beings were doing. They were hunting, they were gathering, they were fishing. This and they were moving from place to place, where they could hunt, where they could fish, where they could just gather. So work was tied to immediate needs. Like you want to eat, you go out to hunt, and you get, maybe you kill an animal, or you fish and you eat. So work was tied to immediate needs. Then from the pre-agricultural era, we then moved to the agrarian economy, and this was dominated by agriculture and subsistence farming. And when you say something is subsistence farming, it means that farming that is only just only tailored for the immediate needs of you and your family, just the food you and your family can eat. And that was the type of farming that was done in the agrarian economy. So it was community based, it was informal, and was family centered. And that is when you see that in some history, when you read them, you see men especially having like multiple wives, multiple children, or you see very large families, so that they can, farm. They can because the farming, then the agrarian economy was family centered. So it is people from your family you get to work your farm for you. So, and it will also led to a practice. It was also one of the reasons, like I said, one of the reasons why people also had large families. And the main mode of exchange was barter system. So globally, agriculture was it. Now we move to the industrial economy, which is when it gets very interesting. Now, the Industrial Revolution first started firmly in Britain around 1760 to 1840, and it started with mechanization of textile production. They used to produce textile then by hand, but now they could mechanize it. There were machines to do it then, followed by steam power. I'm not going into all of this in details because it will take our time, but please, you can. Okay, we had a conversation with her there with support, and she listened. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
Can hear you.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Please, I don't want to be speaking to myself. Neither do I want to be thrown out by network. So then we have the second industrial revolution. It brought about electricity, brought about mass production, brought about factory labor. You can read more about all of this I'm talking about. Then the third industrial revolution, which was the digital revolution. That was when computers came, the internet came, the World Wide Web came. If you've always heard this concept that the world is a global village, that really brought about that happening of that sentence, that existence of that sentence, that the world is a global village. Because especially with the internet and the World Wide Web, you can be connected to anybody anywhere in the world. And an example is this very call that we are all in. So we have that, we have global connectivity, we now have digitization of data, all those, if you have ever entered all of those offices where you see stacks and stacks of book with data, maybe names or records or numbers. Now, in a spreadsheet, everything's just there. So no need for all of those books. Just with Excel spreadsheet, or with Google Sheets, you can do all of that. Now, which is where we are presently, is the fourth industrial revolution. And this is where we are presently. And this is where the physical, the digital, and biological are merging together to create cyber physical systems. We now have the integration of AI, we have robotics, we have big data, we have blockchain, and we have biotech technology. All of these are very, very key things that will shape the future of work as we know it. You see the phases. We started from hunting, from gathering, moved to agriculture, from agriculture, moved to the first industrial revolution, which was mechanized. From the first industrial revolution, we moved to the second industrial revolution, where electricity came, mass production came, factory labor came. If you remember the first picture I showed you, and before I started this, then now we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Now we have AI, and it's even one of the things we'll be teaching in the course of this boot camp. So the studies we have here shows that by 2025, which is the year we are right now, 85 million jobs may be displaced by automation. Imagine, I told you earlier that we woke up one morning to ChatGPT. ChatGPT knowing how to write. So copywriters, content writers, everything writer, they began to like almost fear that now with ChatGPT, would people still be outsourcing writing to other people to do for them now that there's an AI tool that if you know how to prompt the AI to, could even deliver something great for you. I'm going to explain more about that later. Then by 2030, this stat also shows that in Africa, especially, over 230 million jobs require digital skills. Like I said, in fact, many young people in Africa are not even really prepared for this. Then, due to the rapid pace of technological change, over 1 billion people globally will need to reskill. Again, it brings to mind the literate of the 21st century is not those who cannot read or write. It is those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And by 2030, if you're a Gen Z here, we will make up 30% of the global workforce, bringing new expectations around flexibility, purpose, and digital fluency. Now, based on these stats we've seen and this historical evaluation of work, I'm sure you're already thinking where you stand in all of this and even what you have to do to ensure that you remain relevant with all of this. I know work is very essential, especially to your means of survival. We'll still come to the reflections where we can discuss, talk, ask questions, but let me continue on this trend. Now, the bulking myths about work. Work doesn't always mean a 9 to 5. No. And you know this, especially today. I'm working right now, but I'm not working a 9 to 5. I work remotely, so I can stay home. I can do all of this. It's also work. The only reason to work is to earn money. The second myth, and that is not it. Some people, no, there are like different types, especially in this age we live in. There are like different types of things you can get involved in where the primary purpose is not money. Yes, you can have a work a job that brings you money. Like, okay, this job brings me money. The purpose is to get money. That is it. And you can also have another job, maybe a sort of maybe a social impact or volunteering or maybe teaching or just touching people's life. And the purpose is not to earn money, it's just something you enjoy doing. Maybe you want to find fulfillment, maybe you want to connect with other people, maybe you want to grow. So the only reason to work is not to earn money, though money is very essential. Then your first job will define your entire career path. This is also another myth. This is not true. Like I mentioned earlier, we are in that era, we are in that age, especially for us Gen Zs or and even millennials and especially the young generation. We are in that age where maybe your parents were doctors all their lives. I mean, that is all they ever did, medicine. Or maybe they were lawyers all their lives. That's all they ever did, medicine. We are in that age due to what we are seeing in the fourth industrial revolution, where we would have to, in fact, upskill and reskill and pivot. Statistics shows that every 5 years, it is very, very highly possible that people would have to upskill and pivot. And do you know what that means? That means that, let's say from 20, now we are in 2025, maybe it was a skill that we were practicing from 2020 to 2025, but now maybe an AI tool has been developed that can now do that thing even better than you. What does that mean? You have to find another skill to learn. And when you learn that again, maybe you practice it for about 4 5 years. Before you know it, there's also something say, oh, maybe robots can do this now, or there's an AI tool that can do this now. What does that mean? You have to also look for another skill and learn because you have to survive. So we are in that time where your ability to learn and execute will be very, very crucial to your survival. This is why your first job will not define your entire career path. The fact that you are a project manager today does not mean you'll be a project manager or for the rest of your life. No. The fact that you're a content writer today does not mean that you will be a content writer for the rest of your life. So your first job will not define your entire career path. And especially for us, the younger generation, if I would have complementary skills and like a broad range of career, like you see people moving from industries to roles, and it's not because they just want to be moving. No, it's because of the innovations and technological innovations that disruptions that will be coming up. So if you don't want to move, you'd have to even move by force. Then the fourth means you need to have a specific degree to do meaningful work. Now, in this time, except you are going to maybe very highly degree specific jobs like medicine now, you know that you need a degree in medicine to do it. And even at that day, you see the fusion of robotics. Who's writing on the screen? There's still the fusion of robotics and biotechnology that all of those things are being developed. If you are really following this AI trend, that can even be maybe treating people or delivering health services and all of that. So you see where the world is going. You see where the future is going. You see where things are that we human beings would have to be working side by side with machines. Like your colleague at work is maybe a robot, or the person you are working with is or something, or the tool you are is a robot. So you see where the future of work is going. Then myth 5 says work is always separate from your personal life. I don't know if this is true for many people on this call, but for me, it's not necessarily true. Please mute your mic if you are not speaking. So it's not necessarily true most of the time. Yes, you would have to work and all of that. Sometimes there can be an overlap. What matters is that you find that healthy balance. So you don't burden yourself with the fact that your work must always be separate from your personal life. Especially in this era, in this time where people are even working 2 to 3 jobs, working different kind of jobs, we might not have that flexibility or that luxury of work being totally separate from your personal life. For point of note, I personally attended a conference where the speaker was saying that in this area we are, it's not necessarily about work-life balance. It's now work-life integration. Like you work when you should work, and while you are working, you try to enjoy yourself and have fun. Like that is the area we are in now. So that area of separating work from personal life or saying this or something might not really obtain as we move on in the future of work. I don't want to dwell on this. Why do we work? We all know that the significance of work, economic development. Now we are talking about social innovation and progress, social progress, building stronger communities. I don't want to engage on it so much because of time. But let's move. Let's just discuss this. So let me get feedback so far. What does work mean to you? With all I've explained and said since morning so far, just two people, please, just two people, just answer the question on the screen. What does work mean to you? What, how has your understanding of work changed, or what has been affirmed in what I've explained so far, and what are your thoughts on the concept of work? So you can pick any of the question and answer. Please, just two or three people. And please, who are those writing on the screen? Who are those writing on the screen? Co-host Richard, can you help out with this? Who are those writing on the screen? Emmanuel, please. Please unmute yourself, Emmanuel, and speak.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for this great opportunity to speak. Can you all hear me, please? Hello,
Please,
ma.
we can hear you. Yes, we
Yes,
can
we
hear
can
you,
hear you.
please.
Go on, please.
We can hear you.
All right.
Please.
All right. From what we have discovered so far, we come to know that the current job or workplace is no longer hard work only, but the incorporation of smart work has made work to be more accelerated and advanced in our current generation, whereby machines and smart devices have enabled our workplace to make work done in a quicker period of time or at a short period of time, whereby AI and robotics have been incorporated. It has not taken the job from human being, but rather to assist us to make the work easier and faster. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for that. That was really insightful. Onyekachi Baruko, please you can meet yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. So, based on what the orientation we've gotten this evening, I've come to understand that work is, work is multidimensional. It's not just about, you having a 9 to 5 or you having to just focus on a linear part of career. Work is the ability to have multiple, should I say multiple skills that you can be able to, express, or should I say be able to, impact wherever you find yourself. And it's not necessarily about working to get paid. It's basically about being able to, be relevant in the digital
Good
space
evening,
that we
ma.
found ourselves. So yeah, work is an activity that involves
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of
Good evening.
skills. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma. My name is Oyinda Mala Shinobi, and I just want to speak. So I've been hosting a work call too. But my name is Oyinda Mala Shinobi. I'm a member of Reformers, and um, please can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Please, Gloria, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Good evening, everyone. So I think my concept and the understanding about what works means to me has not changed because your explanation, the slides, what I've read in this very session, right, resonate with me about what I understand about work. So to me, work is that activity I do, right? The activities I do to, it's encompassing, right? To earn money, right? To impact life, which is what I do because I volunteer. I don't get paid, right? And I also call that work. And also that activities I also do to find fulfillment in myself. Because now before people do, you have your what you do differently to earn money, and you have that your passion that you do at your leisure or something that just give you to entertain you. But if you realize now, people, because there's no time to play around, so people just find a way to what they love doing, they use it as work, they earn money to it, and they find fulfillment. So that, like what I think at a point you talked about where people do different jobs, like 3 jobs, but you just have to find a way to do those jobs. You don't have time to do other things, but you are happy doing them. It gives you joy and passion. So work to me is just that activity I use, and also not physical activity. Yes, that is why I evolve with trend. Any new skill, right? What is it called? Any technological device or application, I try to know what is, because I know myself that my own definition and understanding of work, I am not using my physical strength. I better use my mental, capacity to earn, to entertain, and to find fulfillment. So, which is why I move with trend. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks so much. Sorry for the distraction earlier. I'm trying to send my devices, and the voices and noises from other things were coming in. Please, let's just move on because of time. And thank you so much for that insightful session. Please, others that are raising their hands, you can share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure the co-host will capture it. I'll put you in mind also if I see your hands up for you to share at the next reflection exercise. So we are at module 2. Now we really have to rush because of time. And here we're talking about the modern workplace. Most of the things here are things I've mentioned earlier. So I might not be dwelling much on a lot. So please forgive me in advance, because most of the things I'll be saying here are things that I've even mentioned earlier. I just want to go through, to look through the things I've not said or explained so that I can explain them and we can be done. So the current workplace, the modern the current workplace, the modern workplace, we all see that, especially if you are working, whether remote, whether in an office, see that it is technology driven. A lot of tools, lot of tech tools are being used, a lot of tech skills, competencies are being required. It is characterized by hybrid work. People now work in person, also work from home. Some even work from home, like totally. Some go to the office maybe once a week and work for home for the rest of the week. Then collaborative tools, we can now collaborate on projects even while we are not in the same location. And there are many projects that tools rather that have made that possible. Now there's the emphasis on safety, on inclusivity, on well-being. If you notice now, there's been this going trend about mental health, stress, avoiding burnout, and all of it, especially mental health this, mental health that, and it's actually good to see, because work to, if not properly managed or navigated or handled, can be so stressful, and too much stress isn't good for your health. So right now, the key features of the modern workplace, I've mentioned some of these, but it's just degree first. Why your degree is actually key. And please, this is not dividing education in any way. Please graduate if you are still in school with a very good certificate, get your good grades, get very good grades. But understand that it is not just degree in this modern workplace. Aside your degree, it's not even just degree first. In most cases, is your skill first. Like, what can you do? What solutions can you provide? What can you do? What solutions can you provide? How can you do? How can you bring about maybe changes or innovations or even disruptions, even maybe in your field, in your career, or even in your workplace. That is what the employers are looking for. There's also a culture shift right now from control to trust. So some organizations, some employers still do it where they want to micromanage everyone and all of that. But the best organizations that really thrive are those that they give more autonomy. However, within boundaries to their employers, they trust the employers, they've trained those employees rather, and they know what is expected of them, and they give more autonomy to them to do their work so that they can be innovative and creative. And then the focus is more on impact too. What's the impact of this thing you are doing? What's the outcome? So it's not just task, that you do this today, you do that tomorrow. You are just all about working. What is the goal of this work you are doing? What is the outcome? Then there is also a shift from competition to collaboration. And if you see most things that we would do, we would achieve, you can't do it alone. You really need that collaborative mindset with people of like values, of like goals. You need that collaborative mindset where you work with your you work in teams, and you now see that there's a lot of emphasis on teamwork. You see that even if you're applying for maybe jobs or maybe opportunities, there's that emphasis on collaboration and teamwork. Like how good are you with working with other people? How good are you in working in teams? How good are you with achieving organization goals with other people? Because that is very important. And also, there's a shift from lifelong jobs to lifelong learning. Like I mentioned earlier, people are now moving across roles and industries. So it's not like I have a job I've been doing all my life. It's not like you have to be a student all your life. You have to learn and keep on learning and keep relearning all your life. What employers are looking for today, they are looking for self-starters. A self-starter is someone who you don't have to tell everything before they do something. They are proactive, they are innovative, they think for themselves, and they can think through and say, oh, I noticed there's a problem in this organization, or there's a problem in this process, and this is what I think, or these are my thoughts on how we can provide a solution to this. And they table the solution before their managers or their employers or their colleagues, and they can work together to refine it and put every necessary thing in place. So they are looking for self-starters who have a growth mindset. And a growth mindset, I would not like to go into details, but it means that you have the mindset of, I don't know how to do this thing yet, so I cannot do this thing yet, but I can learn how to do it. And then put effort and energy into it until I am very good at doing it. So employers are looking for those kind of people today, because most jobs don't even really require what you really studied in university or what you studied as a course. But we require that you have that growth mindset, that open-mindedness, that learning agility, that you don't know this thing before, but you will learn it and you will learn how to do it and do it excellently. So your first attempt might not be good. It might be bad, but you won't let that get you down. You will learn it and you will eventually become excellent at it. So they must be comfortable with tech tools and digital communication. They must be willing to adapt quickly. Like I said, you can be a project manager today, and maybe in the course of time, you might have to pivot to another role entirely. So you have to be able to adapt quickly to maybe any role or any industry you find yourself and be agile about it. Then strong soft skills. In as much as there's an emphasis on technical skills and tech skills and ability to use tech tools, you must also have strong soft skills like communication. You must know how to communicate, whether in writing or in speaking. You must be empathetic. You must know how to collaborate. All of these things are things that they also watch out for in today's workplace. Not only just your ability to maybe to code or to write or to do the technical part of the job, but how are you also communicating? What's your emotional intelligence level like? Then awareness of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Please, if you've not heard about this, please research this, especially if you are looking to have a global career or work in a global industry. This is very important. Cultural sensitivity to other people, where everyone feels welcome, no matter their background. Like, um can you work with anybody and you still achieve organization goals, and there is no friction between you both because maybe you don't like their culture, or you don't like their sexual orientation, or you don't like or you don't like their religion, in today's workplace, there's that emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion, where everyone is welcome, everyone has equal chances to succeed, everyone feels welcome. The workplace is more inclusive. There's no maybe tribalistic or anything listic, anything in the workplace. So they're also looking for people like that who can work with anyone, regardless of their orientation, whether religious orientation, gender orientation, sexual orientation, or cultural orientation, and achieve organization goals. So if you are the type of person who is not that tolerant enough, you might find it difficult to thrive in today's workplace. I mean, tolerant in the sense of contributing to an inclusive environment where you find yourself, not you accepting things that you should not accept, or you don't want to accept, or you doing things that contradict your values. The role of technology in the workplace. Now, in the workplace, you can all see technology is not just a tool, it is almost in every aspect of our work. Then there's the place of automation and AI. This is gradually gaining ground. There's a place of digital communication and collaboration. And more importantly, is the importance of data. Businesses, organizations, whether non-profit or profit, whether government agencies, everyone now rely on data to make decisions. So there is no, you just wake up one morning and you're just assuming, especially with the way the disruptions are happening, especially in every sector. So people are increasingly relying on data to make decisions. And I think it's next week, a session focuses on using data, even as an employee yourself, or even as someone who is working yourself. How can you even use data to even plan your own career and plan your move, that in the next 2-3 years, this is where data is showing that my industry is going through. This is the trend. So how can I use this data and use it to plan myself and plan my move, that so that in the next 2-3 years, among the people who would first benefit from this innovation or from this tech disruption, I'll be among them, and I'll be able to pivot quickly before other people wake up. I've gone and I've established myself in that field. So you learn how to use data to do that, because it is very, very important. The essential skills you should have, like I mentioned, while technical skills are very important, you also need soft skills. And I already mentioned the soft skills, so I will not go back there. What are the challenges we have in the current workplace, and how can we solve them? The first one, or which is one of the major one, is a skill mismatch between graduates and job requirements. If you put out roles or if you employ people, you see this a lot, where you see that you gather like, okay, can you do this, can you do this? And at the end of the day, they can't really do it. And they showed so much eagerness and enthusiasm, maybe during the interview, or even in writing their CVs and their cover letters. And at the end of the day, you're just wondering, like, like a case of what you ordered versus what you got. Like, this is not what is in your CV and your cover letter. The quality of your CV and cover letter is even like higher than the quality of the actual job you produced. So there's that skill mismatch, and it requires you learning how to use technology, you learn about your industry, learning about your career, learning fast and executing fast to bridge the mismatch, especially in a case where, even this is for everyone, whether what you studied is what you are doing right now or what you studied is not what you are doing. Then there's the work-life balance struggles. Especially if you are doing remote and hybrid work, it can blur, but you have to find a way to manage it to avoid burnout. Your health is also very important. There's the digital fatigue and overload. Sometimes if you use your computer a lot, you just notice that sometimes you begin to maybe have headaches, something. You know, it happens. But these are examples, these are cases of digital fatigue and overload. And you can find ways to actually manage this so that it doesn't exhaust you or reduce focus. A major one is the job insecurity. And this is really major. People are literally like always looking out, because you can wake up one morning and that skill you just learned, you can just see trending on X, formerly Twitter, that there is an AI tool that can do it. I mean, was it a few weeks ago? I've forgotten the name of this tool. it starts with G. If someone can just put in the comments and remind me, where people were, turning their pictures into animated, into like similar, into animated like photos, where people were doing, and it was trending all over social media. If you remember, please just put the name in the comments. I know it starts with G. Yes, Ghibli. Yes, you can also make your research, and people were doing it a lot. Now, you see, for those who are into maybe animation or into stuff like that, that could, for the person who is very innovative and proactive among them, that can really help that person to even really scale their work faster. For the one who is not innovative and proactive, that could lead to loss of jobs for them. So it's two-way. So there's the automation fears, where what you can do is, so what you can do can just be, okay, thank you so much for that reminder, Francis. Yes, I am. You can just wake up one morning and there's an AI that can do it. I have mentioned all of this earlier. I'll just move to the third module, and which is about the future of work. I have mentioned a lot about this. I think I even said everything. Yeah, thank you, Moses. So that they can do it. So for the current workplace, for the future of work, I'll just go straight to the things that you really need to take note of right now. First is the focus on sustainability and the green economy. I know we've mentioned a lot about tech, about AI, about automation, about IoT, about internet. But one thing you should also get is the focus on sustainability and the green economy. Yes, this is important also in the future of work. We made our research and we say that this is going to be a very key industry even in the future of work, especially due to the growing awareness of environmental challenges. So there's an increasing demand for sustainability in almost every aspect of human endeavor. Like, how can this be sustainable? How can the impact of this be reduced on the environment? So there's an increasing demand for, especially in renewable energy, in sustainable agriculture, in things related in green technology. There's also even green skills. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's also something called green skills. There's also something called sustainability across sectors, where people are looking how to integrate sustainability in whatever sector they are playing it. So this is a key trend. This is a key, I should say, a key pillar that will shape the future of work, that even as a young person, you can align yourself with it from right now. Actually, the session on this would be at the in-person workshop. So it's not going to be online. I would have said more people would have access to that session, but it's going to be delivered in person. Our speaker is going to be available in person. So it will be for those who come in person. But if we can also live stream it. I've mentioned a lot about technology and about skills for the future of work. I honestly don't think I should overflog this. So I think I'm done with everything I have in my slides. I've exhausted them. So I'll stop here for now. So we can take questions, we can take comments. I'm sorry for all the distractions and network issues that has happened today. But please, this is your time to ask. And please, can we have the post-assessment form shared too? Francis, is that possible? Please, you can unmute right now and ask your question.
Yeah. What is that? What is possible?
The post-assessment, can we have it
Hello?
shared so that as they are asking questions and I'm answering, and we are all commenting and sharing our thoughts, they can also, because this is the
For,
session, the
for the
post-assessment form will
people
only be
that
hmm?
for the people that are on YouTube that are watching from YouTube, I guess we should just share it to the link for today.
To the link for
To the WhatsApp platform.
I wouldn't want us to share it to the WhatsApp platform, because those who are not on the call will then feel it and will not even be able to differentiate
Okay.
between those guys. So let's share it here. Then on YouTube, is there a way we can share it in the comment section so that those on YouTube would also feel the assessment? Or can we take, or can a co-host, maybe Richard, take a screenshot of those who are currently watching on YouTube, if there's a way you can see them, and maybe later we can then track them and share with them. But on Zoom, can we just share it on Zoom? Trying to.
All right, so I want to ask.
Please, you can unmute yourself and let's take questions.
Yes. Please, are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Hello. Yeah. Hello,
Loud and
can you
clear.
hear me?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to ask
We
that
can hear you, please.
if you are at a workplace and you know your value, you know what you can do, you are multitasking, and everybody in the workplace knows that no, this person is very good. Yet your employer has always been acting as if you don't matter. But whenever there is an instant that the company needs a rescue, they call on you, and you feel like not being valued. What will you do?
So you are it's a situation where you are really valuable to the organization, and yes, they really benefited from your value, but
Yes,
your employer does not want.
exactly. He does not act as if you matter.
Okay, from my own insights on this, I think first thing you should realize that your once you really know that you are very valuable and you're doing great work, you should keep upskilling, reskilling, stacking more value, adding value to yourself. And don't let your employer's reaction or non-reaction to the value you provide affect your own perspective of yourself or of your value. Because you know the job you deliver great results, and you are very valuable. And in fact, even shows that they're always calling you. It could be a ploy for you, not just maybe feel like, oh, there are different reasons that could be. Some could be like, maybe it could be a sort of ploy for you not to know. And what how do they say, like, you feel maybe you start feeling proud, or it's on the WhatsApp page, or you really want to get an increase in your wage or your salary, and it doesn't want to pay you what actually correlates to the value you are providing. So it's different kind of reasons. But if you know you are not comfortable in that work environment, and you really have the value and skills that other organizations can even benefit from, and maybe get better offers, you can actively work to get a role, or to get into industries, or to get to organizations where you are more valued, where you matter more, and where your value is recognized, where it is rewarded, where it is received. But you don't allow that to stop you. So, and if you've not gotten that option right now, you can be working towards it while you're still working there, but still keep adding value to yourself, because eventually you would need it. It could even be the difference. You don't know when the opportunity would come that you can get a better offer. Please, for
Okay,
the
thank
co-host,
you.
for Francis and Richard, please, have you shared the assessment? I'm not able to answer it from my end. Is it because people are asking on the call? So if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and speak while the assessment is going on.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Please, I didn't get the pre-assessment form. Was it shared? I've not filled the pre-assessment form. Thank you very much. And now they're talking
It
about the
was shared.
post-assessment.
It was shared on WhatsApp and via email.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, good evening, ma.
I have a
Good evening, ma.
question.
I have a
Please, good
question.
evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, ma. I have a question. Can you
Please
hear
go
me?
ahead. Yes.
Okay. Even though you've thrown a little highlight on some part of my question, but I still want you to talk more on this. How do you handle a workplace where your role, as stated probably in your appointment letter, is being overstretched? a situation where your employer uses you beyond stipulated rule stated in your employment letter? And secondly, if you find yourself in a toxic environment, there are some workplaces, some employers, they strive on having a way of causing clash between their workers. They don't want them, they feel that once they are united or once the workplace is peaceful, there will be gang up against them. They are insecure. How do you handle such kind of environment?
Mm. Okay, thank you so much. I got what you said, but let me also pitch to my co-hosts. I mean, Richard, Francis, do you have anything to say on this? Let's also learn from you. Richard, Francis, are you on the call? Please ensure you are filling the assessment as it is ongoing. Please. Yes.
Please, I'm trying to fix or pre-assessment form on YouTube. I've not heard what he was saying.
Eventually need to use
Sorry, ma. Good evening, ma.
Okay, please. So to avoid much, we have a question already. Ongoing asked. So I'm asking Francis and Richard. We also co-host on this. Would you like to share your insights? The question he asked. Please mute yourself.
Please, we are waiting for the post-assessment form.
Sorry, can you give a recap of the question, please? I guess I missed that.
Ongoing, if you can hear us, can you give that?
I can hear you. I said you need a more insight on a workplace where your rule, as stipulated in your appointment letter, is being overstretched, where you are being overused. How do you handle such kind of situation? And again, if
So you mean that you're responsible? Yes, I think I got you now. You mean that your responsibility is like social media manager, but you're doing more than that? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and you are not being appreciated. The employer is seeing it as if is her right or his or her right. As long as you are working under them, whatever role that is assigned to you, you must do it, knowing fully well it's not part of
Okay,
your role.
Okay. Let me say this first. That usually happens in a startup, right? You're possibly working in a startup. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you.
So that usually happens in a startup, right? So if you're working in a startup, you can't escape that. What I would say is do the work, stack up all the skills that you get. For instance, it gives you an opportunity to learn on the job, to learn a lot of things, and see it as a way of growing in that organization. Okay, I'm talking from personal experience. So maybe I was employed to be a content writer, then I end up being a graphic designer and a content creator and social media manager and all of those things. If you are just coming up, you need those skills. Don't just say that your employer is making you feel like you're doing more work. If you can do the work, good. Okay, it will really help you to then build a portfolio around all of those things. This is a startup experience. You can't escape that, and they keep applying for more jobs as the moment you have your portfolio in place. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please, can I add to what is already said?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right, I will be giving you answers in relation to the legal framework in Nigeria. I am a law student and I know what it takes to overuse an employee. So according to Section 9 of 7 of the Labor Act 2004 in Nigeria, it provides that the employer cannot overuse the employee without his consent. So in such situation where you are used in office or in workplace, whether online or whatsoever, you have the right to seek for redress in court. That's courts that have jurisdiction in listening to employment issues. I think that this answers your question, right?
So like
Yes, you did. You did. Thank you very much.
okay, thank you. So they've even mentioned what I want to say. They've even mentioned what I want to say, but like they all said, please, Francis and Richard, is the post-assessment form being shared? So like they all said, keep stacking those responses, the skills rather, the value rather. Yes, you are being overstressed. It's sometimes a common phenomenon in organizations. You know, they are getting more value for less money. What three people will do, they make one person do it. So keep stacking your value. If you don't have any option right now, I feel like you can still manage it. Keep working, keep stacking up value, keep gaining experience, but actively also work towards you getting a better offer for yourself. One thing you should realize that when it comes to work or it comes to your career, it is in your hands, not in the hands of your organization or in the hands of your manager or in the hands of anybody. It is in your hands, whether you are stuck, whether you are moving, whether you are going up or you are going down, it is all in your hands. Nobody will manage your job or your career for you. It's not, they will not manage it for you. So if you want to make a move, it is still in your hands. If you are not making the move, it's in your hands. So that is something you should have about the workplace. It is entirely in your hands. So it is dependent on you. So thank you so much. Please let's allow more people to speak. Please, you
Hello,
can
good
mute yourself
evening.
and
Good evening. Okay, can you hear me, please? Am I heard?
yes.
Okay, good evening. My name is
Yes, you're
Adejumobi
audible.
Taiwo. And first, I would like to appreciate your insightful explanation so far. You've been able to help me debunk some misconceptions about work, and that has been very helpful. So my question is, how do I know? First, you talked about upscaling or improving your skills because of the advent of AI now, and I mean AI. We have AI now making some skills irrelevant. So how do I determine what skills are relevant to me at the moment in order for me to learn them and know how to and know how to work in these skills? How do I know what skills are relevant to me at the moment? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Please, we'll share the post assessment form now. Just please bear with us. Stay on the call for just a few minutes. We will share the post assessment form now. Now, from what you said, actually, how do you know what skills to learn, what to do? Is that right? Is it Sumaya? Or who asked?
No, Taiwo. Adejumobi Taiwo.
Yeah, so if I get you have to know what skill to learn.
Yes, that was what I asked. How do I know what's relevant skills to learn?
Okay, so there's something called career planning, career road mapping, design thinking, and actually it's tomorrow's session. So this session, this question you've asked, just ensure you're in the session tomorrow and come and ask the facilitator. I can answer it, but I won't be as detailed and as insightful as him because he's a professional. So all these, how do you know what to learn? How do you plan your career? How do you make a move? How do you is the master of that? So just please come to this session tomorrow and come and ask Ebuka. His name is Ebuka Lumuna.
Okay.
And come and ask Ebuka Lumuna, and he will do everything. He will do it. So, Taiwo, please just I know why I said that, because what he asked is the training topic for tomorrow. That's the focus for tomorrow. If you check our curriculum, that's the focus for tomorrow. So
All right, no problem.
ask
That's
tomorrow.
thank you very
Um,
much. See you tomorrow.
please let's take more questions. Let's take more questions.
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. My name is Habiba Sulaiman from Kaduna, and thank you very much for the session. I think this is one of the best sessions so far. For I don't know, at the beginning, I'm hoping to see more. So I just want to add like a contribution to the earlier question that was answered by yourself and the facilitator. I just want to tell the person that as you are taking on those roles, make sure that you specify, you know what you are doing, in the sense that because I volunteer a lot in works, and most times I do have all of this overload, and since nobody, you know that you're volunteering for this, so for in this aspect you don't even have that saying that you complain, but you need to know what you are doing so that when you are crafting that your CV, you know the roles that you are putting, that okay, I was able to do this, which impacted this and did that, resulted to this. So yes, it is really not easy, but just look at the aspect of it and make sure that as you are doing it, you are having sense, and you're knowing the roles that you're taking, so that when you leave that place, you know that your CV is better than, what you started with. So that's just what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. That is actually brilliant. Thank you so much. You see, thank you. And please, I have dropped the link to the post assessment now in the chat. Please go and fill it. I'm sorry it's not going to be a quiz like the pre-assessment, but it will just give us at least an overview of what we've done so that we can track this session. So please, we are going to stay on the call so that everyone can feel it. So it's in the, I'm posting it again and again and again and again. It's in the chat. So it won't take you up to, within 5 minutes, you are done. So please go and fill it. Please, let's use the opportunity to get more questions. Who's Maya, can you speak?
Good evening, ma'am. Please can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the section. It was very educative and I learned a lot. I just want to ask a simple question. If we can get your presentation slides, that's all.
Okay. Yes, you can get it.
Thank you very much.
Richard, please can you also share the link to the assessment on the YouTube chat? Because I don't want us to send to the WhatsApp group. We will not be able to differentiate those who attended the call and those who did not, because everyone would fill the assessment form. So please, can you help share the assessment to the YouTube chat? Please, let's take more questions in the time. Or if you have any comments. Or if you have any comment, this is the time to unmute yourself and speak. Or if you have any advice for anyone. Oh. Richard, I'm getting reports that it's not on YouTube yet. Can you please reshare for everyone to get it?
It's on YouTube, just that you cannot be able to copy it. Comments in YouTube under comment sections, you cannot be able to copy that
Oh.
comment.
So how can we navigate that situation? Can we get like a screenshot of those one on YouTube? At least those who are watching currently, I just get their names, and then later we can track them and then send it to them personally to feed it. Please, can you do that? Like screenshot their names or their comments or their YouTube username, so we can track them out, and then get them to fill it.
All right, I'll do just that, ma'am.
Please do it now. Any other question in the meantime? The assessment has been shared here, please, and that's why, in fact, we are still waiting on the call, because once this session ends, once I end the meeting, I instantly go to the assessment form and I close it. No one can fill it again. The pre-assessment form has been closed. Please, it is different. It has been closed. Like I mentioned, it has been closed. It is the post-assessment form you should fill. And I'm pasting it right now. Bumi, please, can you get the screenshots of those on YouTube so that we can work with them, we can track them down later and get the assessment, please. Please, so far, what's filled the assessment? Oh, okay. Thank you. Please, if you are in a place where you can put on your camera, please can you put on your camera? Let's just take a picture before we call it a day. Can you put on your camera and let's just take a screenshot before we... Okay. Thank you.
Some of us are still filling the form, so please have patience a little for
I
us.
see. Please still keep it on. Let me look for my screenshots. Yes, please ensure you are filling the form. You can already open it on your phone so that after the call, still have access. So please ensure you fill the form. Ensure you fill it. Please still keep it on. I'm taking screenshots. Richard and Francis, please, I hope you're also doing the same in case, just for backup, please. And if any other person on the call can also help us out, please. So yeah, just 2 more to go. Please keep your cameras on. You have like 4. Yes, so thank you so much. You can put up your cameras now. Thank you so much. So can we go now? Please, have you filled, at least just click on the form and just open it. Open it on your phone so that you can have access. And because once I have, let me even check the number of responses we have for the form, because it's past time and we have to close this meeting. So we have 24 responses so far, and we have like about over 100 people who joined the call. Please, that is why if you filled the assessment, you can leave the call. Thank you. If you've not filled the assessment, please stay. Fill the assessment before you leave. If you fill the assessment, please, you can leave the call. Thank you so much.
How do I take the picture, please?
We've taken the picture already.
No, I've not taken it. Okay, the one I open my camera.
Okay, just open your camera like that and then let me just quickly take. Okay, so thank you. If you fill the assessment, you can leave the call. Thank you so much. The link to the assessment is in the chat. Let me copy and paste again.
Some of the questions are tricky. I don't know. I feel it how I can. So thank you for
Yeah,
the session. I'm very
you are
grateful. I learned a lot.
welcome.
Bye
We
bye.
see everyone tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. and definitely will not be as long as this. Definitely. So
No.
please, if you fill the assessment, you can leave the call. If you've not filled the assessment, stay on the call. And because of you, I'll stay on the call till let me give 7:50 p.m. So once it's 7:50 p.m., I'm ending the meeting myself. I mean it's quite a day, so I can also rest. So please fill the access. Richard, for those on YouTube, were you able to screenshot or get their names so we can track them?
Yes, I've been able to take their attendance.
Yeah, for the comments so we can track them and send it to them.
Please, how can I take the picture?
We've taken the picture already. I'm so sorry. We will take another tomorrow. So that is why I mentioned that everyone should have their camera on so that we can take the picture. So we've taken that already. I would share it on the group. So if you see yourself in it, fine. If not, please tomorrow when we announce I want to take pictures, please put on your camera and
I'm not able to copy the assessment form.
just click on it. Just you don't have to copy, just click on it. It will take you straight
My
to
page is blank. I actually cannot see anything. My page is blank.
is the page blank? The page
For
is
my
not
own
blank. Someone is even accessing it beside me. Please, maybe it's your network. It's not blank. We even have like how many responses now?
I started filling it and then I don't know what happened. I lost it.
Please check
Bye-bye.
again, please. Yeah, we have like 50 responses now, so the page is not definitely blank. It's not definitely so. Please, 7:50. I'm leaving the call and I'm closing the assessment. So if you've not filled, please fill it right now. Please.
I really cannot see anything on my chat any longer.
You can't see anything on your chat. Let me copy and paste again.
Please.
Hello, ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma, I can hear you.
I think I filled the form during the day. Do I need to fill it again?
Yes, you have to fill it again. The one you filled during the day is the pre-assessment. That is before the session. Then this one that we are filling right now is the post-assessment, which is after the session. So there are two forms for every day. The pre-assessment, which is before the
Okay,
session
thank
starts,
you.
and the post-assessment, which is after the session.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, ma.
Thank you, ma. I've been able to get it.
You're welcome. Thank you too. So it's 4 minutes to 7:50.
Hello,
Please, we just
facilitator.
have,
Please, I would like to ask if when we are done with the assessment, can we
please,
leave the
yes, you can
call?
leave the call. I already mentioned it. When you are done with the assessment, please leave. You can leave the call, please. So I want to believe that everyone's still here because we still have 40 people on this call. I myself am waiting for everyone to be done with their assessment. So I don't want someone to say, well, I've not done it. That is why I'm waiting on the call. If you've done the assessment, please leave, go and rest. Take prepare for tomorrow, please.
Sorry, ma.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
you spoke about sharing the link to your slides, and it hasn't been done.
Yes, you get the slides and maybe if
Oh,
other speakers will get, but we will prepare all of that after the boot camp. Please, you get
oh,
the slides and we'll prepare all of that. So just give us some time to process everything and put it together. In with the learning resources, other resources we also want to share with you as well. Please.
oh. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. If you feel the assessment, please you can leave the call. I hope those on YouTube we've gotten their data.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Please, in the course of taking the camera, some of us were busy filling the post-assessment form. I hope that will not be an issue.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma. I'm done filling the post-assessment form.
If you feel it, you can leave the call. Thank you so much. If you feel it, you can leave the call.